Hi there and welcome. Hey, congratulations on taking the time to push this button and start your journey to a tobacco-free life. My name is Patrick Werka. I'm a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for 20 years. I started a company called Fasco Health. And what I want to do for you today is to start you on that journey of freedom. That journey to get you off of cigarettes, off of nicotine, off of vaping, off of whatever the product is that's currently holding you back. If you've taken the time to push this button and start this program, congratulations. That's the first thing that you need to do to start looking at where your new future is going to take you. I've been a pharmacist for 20 years, as I said. In those 20 years, I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people quit smoking. I've been an advocate for quitting smoking for so long. I've seen the devastating effects that cigarettes can do to the body, to families, and to lifestyle. What I want to do over the course of the next number of videos is to make this attempt the easiest one you've ever had. See, because I believe that quitting smoking is only 10% addiction and 90% habit and mindset. And I've gotten really good at helping people change their mindset, change their habits so that they can be free of this. This is going to be the longest of the videos that I'm going to shoot, and the reason for that is I want to give you a little bit of insight into where we've come from and how this process is going to work. After we shoot this video, most of the videos you're going to watch are going to be 3 to 5 minutes long. And the reason they're 3 to 5 minutes long is because that's typically the length of a craving. When you get that feeling like you need that cigarette, you get that kind of irritation, agitation that says, I need a cigarette right now, that feeling usually lasts physiologically in the body about 3 to 5 minutes. So my goal is that if I make you a 3 to 5 minute video and can walk you through that process, it's going to be a step in that new habit where you're going to say, instead of lighting a cigarette, I'm going to watch this video for 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths. I'm going to clear my head. And if the video ends and I still really want a cigarette, I'll have one. But if not, I can get through that period of time and move on. So today's video is going to be a little bit about why I want to do this for you, how I'm going to serve you, and how this process is going to be so different than every other quit attempt that you've had before. See, the science says that it takes an average of 5 to 7 attempts to actually be successful. And I believe you can do it in less than that, but the biggest key is that you have to want to, you have to get determined, and we have to stop trying to live in the past. What we're going to spend the time focusing on instead is how do we live in the future? What is life going to be like without a cigarette? What's my body going to feel like when I don't have those cigarettes anymore? And how is everything going to start improving? Because when we focus on the future instead of looking at the past, we start to create that future as we go along. So I'm super excited to have you on this journey. When I teach this program, and I've been teaching quitting smoking classes for 10 years now, when I teach people how to quit smoking, the first thing we need to do is we need to look at why do we smoke? See, everybody smokes for a slightly different reason. Do you smoke because it's habit? Do you smoke when you're happy? Do you smoke when you're sad? Do you smoke when you're frustrated? Do you smoke when you're lonely? Do you smoke when you're bored? Everyone has their own reasons. And after you've been smoking for a length of time, your body gets programmed to the point where you may not even notice you do it. All of a sudden, you might just hop in the car and the next thing you know, driving and you get to the corner and you've already got a cigarette lit in your fingers because you've done it so many times before. You may sit down in your big comfy chair in front of the TV and before you actually grab the remote to turn the channel, boom, you've already got a cigarette lit. What we need to do first of all is understand, why are we smoking? Are we smoking because we're stressed? Are we smoking because we're lonely? Are we smoking, is the cigarette a reward after a hard day of work? What is it that cigarette is doing for us? Because when we understand what it's doing, we can start to add better programs and better habits that are going to walk you through that process instead. This is going to be an amazing journey for you. I'm going to make as many videos as it takes for me to get all of the information out there. What I ask for from you is to put in the time, watch the videos. Like I said, they're going to be 3 to 5 minutes long. If you got time, you can sit down and watch them one after the other over and over. If you don't have time, just every time you think about having a cigarette, say, I'm going to watch one of Pat's videos instead, and then I'm going to see how I feel. My goal is to help inspire you, to help encourage you, to help you realize that you have the ability within you to make this process really easy. See, what happens for a lot of people is that they want to try quitting smoking but maintain everything else in their life. And when that happens, sometimes we can't get to that next level unless we really assess what it is that we want more of in our life. And when we start focusing on what we want more of, this process becomes easy. We start giving up on those things that are not serving us and start focusing on what we really want instead. So depending on where you are in this journey, you may be at the point where someone has said to you, no, you really need to quit smoking. It might be a family member, it might be a parent, it might be a sibling, and they're poking the finger at you saying, you need to do this, you need to do this. And you're resisting, you're going, wait, I'm not quite ready. And then those thoughts in your head start. We have two levels of thought. We have conscious thought, that is the stuff that we're thinking about in the moment. And then we have subconscious thought, which is all of those programs and things that we've learned from our entire history that have set us in place. If you've ever used statements like, it's too hard to change, or that's just the way it is, I can't change, what you're doing is you're listening to that subconscious that's saying, it's too hard. Your subconscious wants to make you feel comfortable and wants to take you out of danger. And as we start moving through the quitting process, your body gets a little bit uncomfortable. And your body doesn't like to be uncomfortable. It likes things to be normal and routine and structured that it knows is safe. What we're going to do is we're going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable as we get rid of that nicotine, we get rid of that addiction, but we're going to make it less uncomfortable by having you focus on what it is that you really want. And that's the power of the mind. That's the law of attraction. See, what you focus on expands. You may have tried quitting in the past and you've sat there going, this is going to be so hard. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I could possibly do this. Like, what's going to happen? Like, what if I go crazy? What if I get depressed? What if I start to lose my mind? I don't know if I'm ready for this. Is there ever a good time to be ready? Like, what if this is not the time because work is too stressful, or my home life is too stressful, or the neighbor's dog just died? There's always a good reason to try to take yourself out of that. We're going to stop doing the negativity, and we're going to start looking at what is it I really want. And we're going to start focusing on how this process is going to show up in your life. So that's a question for you. So first of all, it's why do we smoke? Every cigarette that you're going to light, before you actually take a puff of it, I want you to start doing something, a program. And I'm going to send you a copy of a worksheet. It's called the Tobacco Tracker. It's available for free through the Alberta government. There's a program called Alberta Quits. And I'm going to give you a lot of resources that are free to use, that are available through the Alberta government. We're here in Alberta, Canada. And I'm going to give you the link so you can use those tools. So the first thing we need to do is look at, why do we have that cigarette? We use a tool called the Tobacco Tracker. The Tobacco Tracker is just a blank piece of paper, and you're going to rate your cigarettes on a level of 1 to 5. 5 being, I need this cigarette right now, or somebody could possibly die. 5 being, I need a cigarette in this moment, or I'm going to lose my mind. 5 being, if I don't have this cigarette in the next couple minutes, I'm gonna break down. Those are 5s. How many times do you have a cigarette that's only a 1 or a 2? And what we do over the course of a couple of days is we start rating those. So every time you pull out a cigarette and you're going to light it, the first thing I want you to do is go on a scale of 1 to 5, how bad do I need this cigarette? Is it a 1, like I'm just bored, I'm killing time before my show starts, or I've got 5 minutes before my next shift and I'm just going to have it because it's time? Or is it because I really need it? You're having that craving, that nicotine fit, that addiction in your system. I really want you to start thinking about that. Now here's what I'm going to tell you, is just because you started this video right now doesn't mean we're going to quit smoking right now. I want you to watch about the first 3 or 4 or 5 videos before you actually look at putting that cigarette out completely, because we want to change the way that we think about the cigarettes before we change our behavior. If we change our thought process first, we create new ways of thinking, then it actually becomes easier. The first step is, why do I smoke and how do I smoke? And then the second step is, what do I have to modify or adjust in order to not do that anymore? And we start looking at those things. And then the other step is, what do I want more of instead of that cigarette? And we're going to focus on that as well. So we're coming up to about 9.5 minutes in this video. I want to keep it under 10 minutes. Thank you for watching the first piece. We talked a little bit about the Tobacco Tracker. The next video, we're going to talk about breathing and drinking water. Some of the things we can do to distract ourselves instead of having those easy, simple cigarettes. Thanks so much for showing up. Give yourself a pat on the back and congratulate yourself just for showing up. Just by making this first step, you are already a success. We don't have to wait till the day that you actually quit to say, man, I'm going to be successful. Just by taking little steps over and over, you get to say, congratulations, I'm currently working on reaching my goal, and that means I'm a success. I'm in the process of moving forward. That makes me a success. Smile at yourself, take a big breath, and say, I am really going to do this. I am working on a path to tobacco freedom, to live the life that I want, and I no longer have to be chained to the cigarette. What's that freedom going to feel like? I'm excited for you. Start thinking about that. What is that freedom going to feel like? Because you deserve to be free. Have an awesome day.